do you think that it's tough being a comedian in these PC times? Because like you could come up with a joke about, oh, I went out on a date with this black woman last night, and next thing you know, Geno Bisconte is the new leader of the clan.
Did you? Let me say this. It's hard being a comedian who doesn't know his voice, and it takes years to find your voice. And I know that everyone busts my balls on the show, because I always try and quote Buddhist stuff. And I want to be better, but it's like, it's a fact. If you don't, if you dip your toe in the river of iniquity, that shit. But they always say, and this is my favorite one, if you don't go within, you go without. And it's hard to be a comedian these days. If you know your voice and say what you want to say, you can back anything up. Like I just did, explaining how I do a joke about the Holocaust and why. It's not, people are like, oh, he's just going for a cheap laugh. No, I'm trying to fucking make you appreciate how far so I know what I'm saying. So it's not difficult for me in these PC times because I want someone to come up and be like, you're racist. And I'll be like, let me explain to you why I'm not racist, okay? Like, let me tell you, I used to do a joke where I said, and I just stopped doing it, and it'll surface again, but it's the joke where I say the first person ever to say please was Thomas Jefferson. It was the preferences of his eHarmony profile, which is brilliant. Thank you, Adam. It's brilliant, but and it's still my fault because people hear the word and they freeze. They're like, that's a terrible word. And people have to realize it's not words. That's a brilliant joke, laughing at how one of our founding fathers loved black women more than white women. And you could look at it like, I think it was like just a shame that they had to be slaves. We were like, no, you just said that word. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like people that want to be offended by PC stuff, a younger comic, I feel bad for a lot of them. They just sit there and try and hide behind political correctness. And they do these bland vanilla acts. And they're just comics now that Comedy Central is using to fill a box. Watch Comedy Central. One white comedian, one black comedian, one gay comedian, one fat comedian, one lesbian comedian, one wild card that's, either crippled or fucking fat or weird. You know what I mean? And that's not you being a comic on your own. That's you trying to fit into the business. And for me, at my age, that's a nightmare. You know what I mean?